Mackenzie, hi, Jim Delepine here. I want to give you some video feedback on your character. It's progressed in a very interesting way. Um, I wanted to first look at this background here. It looks like you have a little composite here of a wall outlet in the middle of the wall and weirdly placed. And then, okay, so let's do this. Let's get rid of this little office thing here. What you never want to do is cut a design in half. Okay. Use a 1/3, 2/3 rule. Okay. So, for example, with this background area here, if this would be better designed if it's 1/3 of the way across the page or 2/3 of the way across the page. Okay. But never cut a design down the middle. Basic rule of thumb. Okay, so let's hide this, and I want to see if we could do something a little more interesting with that background instead of having that's, I don't know, very random object in the middle there. Let's have your character Chris be the hero. All right, so let's do that. And now what I'll do is go to the background here, and let's see. We still have the plug. I don't know. Let's just keep the plug there because you want it there. Okay, but I'm going to make it smaller. Control T. All right, click and drag towards the center point with the shift key held down, and then let go of the cursor first and then the shift key. All right, then you can move it around. If you let go of the shift key too soon, it jumps out of proportion. Okay, and you won't be in the right proportion. It'll be either too thin or um, too fat. So, all right, so let's go to the text layer here. Computer Critic Chris. Looks like you have a colored image clipped to it. So let me just make that visible and hide that for now. That I have a thought. All right, let's take this text, select it. Notice it's a smart object here. See this little icon? That occurred when you dragged something into it. Like, for example, this image here. If I just drag and drop it on top of this tab and drag it into the image, let go, it comes in on a layer that is not a smart object. All right, notice this icon here. If I were to right click on the layer, I could select create smart object or convert to smart object, and I'd get that same icon. All right, but any of these, if you click and then shift click to select all of them, you can do something at the same time. You could right click on them and select rasterized layers. Okay, so that has its advantages and disadvantages, but for me, the more advantages than not. Okay, so I like to rasterize layers. All right, so now let's just take this one that I put over, get rid of it, and see what we can do here. Let's go to the text layer and hit Control T. Wait, I lost it. What you can do is zoom in. Spacebar Control is the shortcut for the zoom in tool. Spacebar Control Alt or Option zooms back out. So I'm going to select this text by clicking on it with the Move tool. As long as the Auto Select option is checked, it will go right to that layer and make that layer active. Okay, so let me hit Control 0 to fit in the window. Hit Control T to put a bounding box around the text that was on that active layer. I'm going to click on the corner bounding box and start to drag up to scale this up, and then hold down Shift. The Shift key will constrain the proportions. Okay, then I will let go of my cursor and then let go of the Shift key. Then hit Enter to apply that transformation, and we can go to the next step, which could be a number of things, but I like this image that you brought in, the colorful map. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to see if I can, whoops, with the map selected right here, I'm going to hit Control T, scale it up. Maybe it says this is not anything. I'm just trying something out here. I'm having fun. All right, let me bring this down below to the bottom. First, I did Enter. I want to bring it below the background area. Why isn't this move? Ah, here it is. No, I don't want to put it there. I want to put it above the floor and below. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Um, prove it. Okay, so it's pretty dark now. But what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to Make note that the computer critter Chris layer is active. That is the layer that has the background on it. Let me scroll up to find this text layer. Instead of scrolling, let me just click on it, and here it is. All right, I'm going to rasterize this. Click, rasterize the layer. Okay. Now what I'll do is control click on the thumbnail here, and that puts a selection around all of the opaque pixels, which in this case is the red text. Okay. And I'll scroll to the bottom. Oh wait, let me hide that now. All right, so there's a selection. Scroll to the bottom, click on this layer right here, and I'm going to hit Control J. What that's going to do is copy what is within this selection of the colorful image that's on that layer. Okay, so Control J. It copies and pastes it to the layer above. All right, to prove it, let me hide that underlying layer. There you go. It matches up. What I can also do is take that layer, Computer Critter Chris, and lower the opacity. I don't really like that. Or you can do this. You can go here, apply a layer mask. Wait, first you'd have to select and put a new layer below the Computer Critter Chris layer. Fill that with black. Okay, so let me first hit